Hello, welcome to the latest episode in the Sit Down with Team HFA. My name is Cam and I'm the chair of the Herefordshire HFA Youth Council.
And my name is Dan Hoskins. I'm the vice chairman of the Herefordshire HFA Youth Council.
And my name's Dan Chance. I'm the football development manager at the Herefordshire FA.
Right, Dan, here we go. Nice easy question, nice icebreaker. What is your favourite film?
So my favourite film is Goodfellas. I love gangster films and it's an all-time classic, some great actors in it. So that is definitely my favourite film of all time.
Right, awesome. Now it comes to serious stuff. Question 1. Why did you become the football development manager at Herefordshire FA?
So I became football development manager just as part of my progression at the company. I started out as a volunteer at a university. For 3 months, I did some volunteer work here. I then got offered 10 hours a week writing grant funding bids. I then got offered another 10 hours a week as the schools coordinator. And then I got offered a football development officer role. And then following some changes in-house, I got offered the football development manager role. The reason I've sort of enjoyed doing that role is, for me, it's been great to make a difference in the county. So I think as a team, we've got great opportunity to help sort of direct the future of Herefordshire football. For example, on a personal point for me, is building the 3Gs and getting to see loads of kids that have got great facilities to train on now. We've in the last year we've created the BDC that sits alongside the Girls Development Centre. It's given boys in this county an opportunity to perform at a level above grassroots and get some additional training.
Where do you see the Youth Council in 4 months?
So I think for me, you guys have done some really good stuff in the last year or so. You've delivered some really good projects. So when I look at the podcast you guys have done, you've talked about some really important topics and brought awareness to them. I think for me, the big thing for the Youth Council in the next sort of 4 months will be the recruitment process they go through, because I'm aware you guys are now leaving. So there's a process now to get new members into that team and to ensure that you guys, build on the recent success you've had and make sure there's future successes as well. So I think that's really important, and I think that's a really important sort of 4 months coming up now for you guys, just to make sure that recruitment process is really good. We get some new faces in and they work well with the existing members of the team that are going to stay on.
So, Dan, do you think that Herefordshire FA is youth focused?
Yeah, so I'd like to think we are. We try and do a lot of things focused around what we think young people would want. We try and engage with yourselves, particularly through Scott, on what you guys think is the right decisions for us to make. And you guys obviously give a voice for young people in the county, but we also look to sort of reach out to the wider community. So, for example, we've recently put a questionnaire out for under 18s to fill in their experiences on youth football. And we've also done a similar thing within our player development centres, just to get a feel of what children want. I think quite often adults make decisions based on what we think children want. And actually some of the feedback we've been getting is really surprising on what we think kids want isn't at all what they want. And actually they've got their own views and opinions. So I think we're really youth focused, and we're certainly trying to become more and more youth focused as we move forwards.
Moving on from that, has the Youth Council at HFA changed since you were on it?
Yeah, so I think so. I was really briefly on the Youth Council for about a year when I first came in, and I think I did a couple of meetings really in that time frame. And I think the big thing I've noticed for me is in the last sort of year or so, when we've had COVID-19, what you guys have done really well is sort of modernise how you approach things. So, for example, today you're interviewing me on Teams, and I know you guys have been having weekly meetings on Teams with Scott and with the other members of the Youth Council. And then you're using social media to interact with people. And I think that change and that shift's been really, really good. I think you're touching a much wider audience than perhaps I was when I was in the role that you guys are in at the moment. And it's been really good to look at and watch, and you guys keep growing with it. So it's been good.
Next question is, what is your opinion on youth leadership?
So for me, youth leadership is just about giving people within football an opportunity to have a voice, and certainly young people. So, for example, the Youth Council at the moment, and yourselves and the National Youth Council, you guys sort of voice young people's opinions at the moment, and you're perhaps the leaders within that youth section. But I think the thing for me is hopefully these youth programmes and things like youth councils eventually lead to future members of staff that come into county FAs and into the national FA. And I think for us, it's a good chance to sort of safeguard the future of football by making sure that there's generations coming through that have access to leadership programmes that enable them to then go on and get those sort of jobs.
So have you watched the podcast series that we recently have done? If yes, what was your favourite episode and why?
Yeah, so I have watched them. I've watched them all, and I think my favourite one is the gender and discrimination one. For me, at the moment, the world we currently live in, social media gives everyone a platform to have their voice heard, and I think unfortunately, there's particularly pundits and players. There's been quite a lot of discrimination on social media in the last sort of couple of years. And I think for you guys, it was a great topic to talk about, and you brought sort of awareness to what's quite a sensitive area for a lot of people. So that was my favourite one, but the podcasts were very interesting to listen to.
Nice, fun question. It's a tough one, mind. Who would you say is the biggest legend of all time on the Herefordshire FA team?
Well, there's a bit of suspicion with the staff at the moment that Scott's secretly giving you questions to ask everyone. Because
he doesn't know that we've asked you this. We've said this so many times.
So for me, the biggest legend in the office would probably be Scott. He doesn't ever really fail to make everyone laugh and pick the mood up in the office. So, and I think you guys probably strongly agree with that. He's certainly a character, and he's someone who's really good and positive to have around.
Thank you very much, Dan. So that was the latest episode of our sit down with Team HFA. We will be posting this episode on HFA TV in the next couple of weeks. And thank you again, Dan, for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, guys.